short podcast on the necessity of starving. Hey, scrotum dome. I resent that. I have a nice fucking head. I don't have a fucking wrinkly ball bag of a head. My neck's getting there, though. I wanted to get your advice or your perspective on something. I am an artist/performer, but I have a nice day job. Oof. I tell you, that's a rough situation. And often other performers in my field will look down on me because I'm not doing the starving artist thing. In some cases, other artists have even taken a Sharpie and drawn on my car. Well, you know what? You need better friends. Well, you never said they were friends. They're just artists. Well, fuck them. Fuck them. People are idiots. There's only one way to do things, the way I'm doing things. Don't fucking listen. Don't even listen to me. Unless what I'm saying to you resonates and fucking makes sense. Fuck those people. Dude, that is the biggest fucking bitch move in the fucking world, is when you have a problem with another fucking man and you go up and instead of confronting them, you vandalize their fucking car. That is such a bitch fucking move. If you don't believe me, there's a zillion videos of guys showing ex-girlfriends destroying their fucking cars. I love when they do that shit, when women destroy guys' cars or their property, their apartments and stuff. You know, that's actually a great sign, because what she's saying is that, you know, that's how much she values stuff. You know what I mean? So she was going to fucking, one way or another, she was going to cost you a ton of money. So you might as well rip the Band-Aid off. You know? I look forward to a future where women are actually charged with destruction of property. Oh, he cheated on me. Great. That doesn't mean you get to wreck a fucking $40,000 car because you're upset. You know? Why don't you take a little bit of responsibility and fucking, you know, take it on yourself that you were dating an asshole. Right? There's plenty of nice guys that liked you. You didn't like them. You tried to land the guy with the fancy fucking car that smelled good, that all the women wanted to bang. And guess what? You found out you were just another notch in the bedpost. Lesson learned. Go find a nice guy. That's not what they do. That's not what they do. They fucking go attack your car. Anyway. This person goes on to say, what these people fail to realize, this is the guy talking about, I guess, the artist drawing on his car. What these people fail to realize is that I'm a serial dream chaser. I came from working class parents, and buddy, you don't have to explain yourself to me. You know, you bought a car with money that you earned by fucking working. All right? People shouldn't go up and draw on it because they don't like the way that you're trying to I don't know, make a career out of being a painter or whatever the fuck it is you're doing. But we'll continue. I came from working class parents, and I was a millionaire by the time I was 26. I feel like if I could achieve my dreams, wait a minute, and I was a millionaire by the time I was 26? That's fucking amazing. I feel like if I could achieve my dreams once, I could do it again, but they don't see that. Additionally, if we all have to work day jobs, whether that's waiting tables or barking tickets for comedy clubs, I'd rather do a job that I enjoy. Additionally, dopamine is important for creativity, so I'd rather be happy during the day so that I could come up with ideas. You seem wise beyond your years. You know, unless you were in sex trafficking, I don't know how you made your fucking money. You're not a slumlord. I stand behind you anyway. Still, I could see the counterpoint. There's a Will Smith quote where he says, you shouldn't have a plan B because it distracts you from plan A. And clearly he didn't have another plan when he marched up on that Oscar stage. Well, yeah, I mean, relationships are fucking complicated. I'm not going to step into that labyrinth. I mean, from afar, he should have had a plan B before it even got to the fucking Oscars. Because I like Will Smith, you know? Anyway, But he didn't, and he stayed with Plan A. So that's, I mean, whatever. I mean, hey, listen, we all do whatever the fuck we all. I'm trying to be less fucking judgmental. I really am. You know what I mean? I'm really trying. I don't know what the fuck other people are going through. I realize that I'm an asshole. So what am I going to do? I mean, it's easy to sit back and be like, yeah, you know what this person should have done? I can't say this. People should not go around drawing on other people's cars. Anyway, without veering too far from this quote, I think the point is that there's probably something to not living a life that's too comfortable, such that it distracts you from your real goals. All right. Here's something that I'll tell you. I'll tell you, because I don't have a co-host to tell me to shut the fuck up. Just because somebody is successful doesn't mean they know anything. All right? And there's this thing that I've noticed with people after they're successful is that after they make it, and then they go to tell their story, they then put a whole bunch of fucking mustard on it. And I knew in that moment, when I walked into that room, either I was going to get this gig or my life was over. And it's in those moments you have to have the courage and all of that fucking stroking your own dick horseshit. This is what happens. This is what really happens, is you go after unless you're a fucking lunatic and you're literally trying to cross people off your list and you're a fucking sociopath, whatever. Okay? Most of us, you go after a dream because it, like, you connect with it and it makes you feel good doing it, right? For me, it was playing drums, music, but I realized that I just didn't have the gift. But I always made people laugh, and gradually I gravitated towards, like, stand-up comedy. Now, I definitely wanted to make it. I definitely wanted to succeed. I definitely wanted to be a famous comedian. But I didn't have any sort of plan beyond sign up for as many places that will put you on stage as possible. And then it was just, okay, now I'm one of the better open micers. I can now get paid. And I became a host. And then a host like, oh, I'll become like a feature. And then you become a feature. And then you become like a headliner. And then you're doing C rooms. And then you move up to B rooms and A rooms and blah, 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 blah. But there was no, like this rigid, like, I have one fucking plan in life. Da, 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 da. And like, this is the only fucking way to do things. All right? There is no one way to do things. And you really got to watch out for fucking egomaniacs that are just sitting there stroking their own. I mean, believe me, there's a bunch of them in my fucking business. And it's amazing just sitting them, watching them talking about themselves. And keep repeating the same stories over and over again. And then what's amazing is gradually everyone else starts saying about them what they were saying about themselves. It's like this fucking hypnosis thing. So I wouldn't, I wouldn't listen to Will Smith. Okay? That guy has a lot of fucking shit he needs to work on. He's wildly successful in some areas, not so successful in other areas. Guess what? Just like me. Okay? So there's a lot of fucking luck involved getting somewhere. So there is none of that. All right? What you should be doing is, like, if being an artist is something that really fills you up and makes you feel good, that's why you should be doing it. This whole fucking thing of, like, I'm going to have my own gallery and I'm going to fake my own death so my fucking posters are going to be worth more money, and then I'll come back and they're like, oh, fuck, he's back. And then all of that shit, that's for corporate cunts. So, yeah, anyway, let me get back to this. This person says, I think there's a point there, blah, 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 blah. Still, overall, I wanted to get your perspective on this and whether it's better to be a starving artist if you don't have to be. No, I was never a starving artist. I I worked for like another 2 years when I could have not had a day job, just paying off all of my debt because I knew I was moving to New York City, and I was fucking terrified how expensive it was. So I wanted to go down there. I had no credit card debt. I paid off my student loans. I mean, I didn't move down there until I was like 27. I mean, I was considered old to be a new guy coming to town. And I started late. I did everything that, you know, they say, if you wait too long to start, you're not going to make it. You know, all of these fucking rules. I remember the butcher giving me bad advice. I don't know. Everybody wants to be the star. Sitting there with a bloody apron, cutting up fucking pork chops, giving me advice, negative feedback on getting into show business. So I would say be careful listening to other people. If they listen to you and it makes sense, if it fucking makes sense, if it feels good in your gut, then I would listen to it. But don't ever listen to somebody just because they got a big house and a shiny fucking car. You don't know anything about them. All right? If you want to see something fucking insane, is you just watch how people, like one of the big things to learn in life is recognizing that you're talking to a narcissist. All right? Or like a sociopath. And there's little things over the years that I've been able to, I grew up around shit like that. But I wasn't able to break the code until about 6 years ago. And now I'm really much better at spotting a narcissist. And I was looking something up the other day. No, I wasn't. I was on Instagram because that's where I'm addicted to my phone. The last fucking addiction I have to get under control. Everything in moderation. Sorry, I had to knock that down. That was a foam roller, by the way. Let's see. Narcissism. There was something that these people had. I can't spell this fucking word. It's just incredible that look at me. Like, I can't even fucking spell and I'm doing fine. That right there should make you feel like you're going to be all right with your artist dream. Deny. Darvo, that's it. All right, so they came up with this thing that it's called DARVO. It's an acronym, DARVO. It stands for Deny, Attack, Reverse Victim, and Offender. And it describes a manipulative tactic often used by abusers to avoid taking responsibility for their actions and shift the blame onto their victims. Okay, so when somebody does that, doesn't mean they're a narcissist, doesn't mean they're a sociopath. They're just something like that. So if somebody does something to you, you fucking call them out on it, and they fucking deny it. Like, this was my experience with this shit, with narcissists. It's like, the first thing they say is, I never did that. Okay? And then the next thing, it becomes, I'm not going to sit here and let you accuse me of that. And then it becomes that. So I guess that's becoming like the victim. First is, I never did that. Then maybe a little bit of anger. Sometimes, if they know they're dead to rights, they'll say like, well, look, if I did that, then I'm sorry. And it's like, no, you did do that. And they'll still be like, well, if I don't remember. I'm being honest with you. I don't remember, but if what you're saying is true, like, that's the best you can kind of get. There's other things too. Like, I noticed with this person, they had the exact same emotional response to if you told them you stubbed your toe or if your mother just died. They would do this thing where they would just kind of cock their head to the side and be like, oh no. They would just... And it was just something, it took a while. And I just sort of noticed with this person, like, they don't feel feelings. Now, it could be because they're completely walled off. I don't think they're a sociopath in that instance, but you just sit there going like, they either don't feel feelings or they don't give a fuck about anything but themselves. So that's the type of shit that I would say that, you know, in life, you have to watch out for when you're going after a dream, okay? Those people that are drawing on your car are assholes, and they guarantee you would never in a million years, like, honestly, they could pass a lie detector. Are you an asshole for doing that? And they would say, no, I'm not. I'm not, because fuck that guy, because he's in the corporate world, and da-da-da-da, and they're building this whole fucking story, and then they're also buying into this shit, and at the end of the day, they're also jealous and envious of you, that if you want to go out and get a sandwich, you can fucking afford it. So fuck them, all right? And if you have anybody in your life that if you're like, if they're constantly doing shit to you, and whenever you know, confront them, they deny, they diminish. That's another thing. I never did that, or oh, that wasn't that bad. Oh, that was just a joke. They do that shit, and you're like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't a joke to me. And then what they do? Oh, jeez. You know, I had no idea. You're so sensitive. Or I love the other thing, like, oh, I mean, I can't do anything. That's one. Or what did I do now? All of that shit. Fuck you. Fuck you. What did I do now? Fuck you on all of that shit. Fuck you on all of that shit. Don't let somebody do anything like that to you. I'm acting like there's a way to get them to admit that they've done something wrong. The reality is you can't. And what you have to do is just slowly back away from those people, which is really easy to do with a narcissist. Because once a narcissist is not getting an attention, positive or negative, they're in the ether. They're in the wind. You never see them again. Anyway, still, overall, I wanted to get your perspective on this and whether it's better to be a starving artist if you don't have to be. How did the cushy job people in your generation fare against the starving artists? It had nothing to do with anything. It had nothing to do. It's a myth that you didn't make it because you had something to fall back on. That's all a fucking myth. I'll tell you, the people that did well were gifted people that did the work. All right? Like, I can try to sing in a band all day long. It's not going to sound good. I could have the, you know, you got to have the gift. If you have the gift and you fucking work at it, you know, and you're not an asshole because it's also a business and people want to be around you, you're going to be successful. It has nothing to do with, you know, how much money you have or don't have. And, you know, and also just because you grow up rich doesn't mean you don't have a bunch of demons and that you had this easy fucking life and everything. Like, you have no idea. Like, some of these rich kids, they grow up to some of the loneliest. I remember hearing like Robin Williams like grew up and had like from a wealthy family, but his parents were never around. And he had like this lonely fucking childhood playing with like his army guys and stuff. I mean, it sounded, you know, I wouldn't want that childhood for the fucking money. So those are all just fucking theories. That's all they are. It has nothing to do with anything. Continuing on. This person says, will that always be the case? He's asking about having a cushy job versus starving artist, the success rate. Will that always be the case, especially in this age of social media where cameras and editing are expensive and regular people are being priced out? Oh, Jesus, there's your cold corporate side coming out. A trend that's happening across art and sports today. No, what's happening is that corporations are not regulated at all. And they are run by people that are not human, both in my business and in any other business. And what's happening to artists in my business and auto workers, farmers, you know, even just public service jobs, you name it, these people are just taking and taking and taking and taking. And they're just fucking people over, and they're heartless. And what do? They blame us because we haven't pushed back. We haven't been able to organize to effectively push back on their greed. So they go, well, we haven't seen any pushback. We haven't seen enough pushback. The government's not doing anything to stop us. Once again, they blame the people that they victimize. So the biggest thing that you should try to get out of life is to enjoy it. All right? And there's a lot of shit that you will see on social media and everything, and people think that enjoying life is having a flat screen TV on every fucking wall of your house and having a bunch of stuff and all of that shit. And it isn't. It's having enough money where if you want to, you can sit down and fucking take a break and have a fucking sandwich and a nice cup of coffee. It's not better than that. You know? I don't think, but I'm an old guy. Anyway, good luck to you. Good luck to you. All right. I will admit that one thing that artists are being priced out. I mean, that's not true. I mean, you can shoot a movie on a fucking iPhone. So I think you'll be all right. Anyway, that was a little bit of a red flag, though, the way you were talking about that. I did see a little corporate haze in the atmosphere there.